literally everything else is going up except gold and silver. So, obviously that makes people ask what is going on. And I've asked that myself too, because they should be going up, right? This is the kind of environment that's really ideal for them. So I've told this story before, but I was at a conference last year and actually it was it was last year, but it was right before COVID hit real bad in the US. And I got the chance to go to dinner with a bunch of hedge fund guys that were there checking out mining stocks at the time. And I got into a conversation with them, and then the whole table got involved. And what I learned from that conversation is a lot of them basically said the same thing. Look, we have to dance while the music's playing, meaning they have to remain in the stock market. They have to perform every quarter, just like a company does, right? And that's what's going up was the stock market. And then real estate was going up. The crypto market was going up. That's where the action was, in their words. And so that's where they had to be. They had to show performance to their clients. Gold and silver were not going up. They had a great bounce last year, but then it softened and has been flat to down since. But they're going to go where the music's playing right now, right or wrong, good or bad. That's what's happening. And it isn't the retail person who really controls this market. It isn't retail buying. It's going to be institutional buying and central bank buying and things like that. So I think, you know what? And that actually tells us when this thing might turn around, right? It's when the stock market becomes weak again and is no longer providing good returns, whether that's a crash or just a plain old bear market, right? When real estate goes soft again and commercial real estate isn't really generating lots of returns. If we go into another recession, if the crypto market craters in some way. So I think those are the kinds of things that will compel the mainstream investor to come back into our sector. And given the environment, given the setup that we have right now, I think that could be quite a fun day for those of us who are long in gold and silver.
Yeah, well, we've been watching this. This is like the equivalent of watching paint dry. When we look, we've never seen money printing at the scope, the extent of what it is now. Trillions and trillions with no possible return back to sanity, because the deficits are going to be running trillions of dollars for years to come. And we got rates close to zero. So pretty much if you're buying a house, according to our good friend John Williams' shadow stats, inflation's raging at 14%. You could buy a house with a government subsidized mortgage at 3%. Therefore, you've got a negative 11% real rate of interest on your mortgage. Effectively, you are getting paid to sit with that house, and you got to live someplace. So when you got enticements like that, and then I read a statistic that in the past year, more money went into the stock market than in the past 20 years combined.
Yeah.
Those types of things. And then you realize that everybody who got money from the government maybe they bought their cars or attempted to, but probably couldn't buy them because they're not available. New cars, very difficult to obtain. So instead, hey, put the money in the market and let it grow. I've used this quote so many times from Will Rogers: invest in inflation. It's the only thing going up, except precious metal. Right. In battery metals, copper, lithium. I mean, you name it. Oil, energy, even though they took a slam a couple of days ago, all we need is some cold weather and that'll turn around really quick. Nat gas was the darling. It was up over 130%. That's come back. And copper hit its all-time high. All these commodities blow up and then they pull back, consolidate, and then we're ready for the next run up. I just wonder where gold and silver are going to fit into that whole cycle.
Well, in the big picture, we still have the 3Ds, let's call them: debt, deficit spending, and dilution, devaluation of the currency, right? So you have a lot of fake stuff going on out there. You have a lot of bloated investments out there, a lot of bloated markets, fake economy, fake currency. So in the big picture, that tells me I need to be long and remain in gold and silver until that changes. In the short term, what I think is going to probably spike their prices, and when we do reverse and start the next leg up, and there will be another leg up in gold and silver. History is very clear about this. It happens repeatedly. It goes in cycles, just like commodities and things like that. There will be another leg up. My concern is that the next leg up could be almost bigger than I want it to be because of just how bad the setup is here. Deficit spending that's the biggest in U.S. history, debt levels that exceed on a per GDP basis World War II levels. You have all this currency printing that you've been talking about, and you're right. They're kind of in a corner. They have to do that. They can't not do it. That's their solution now these days, right? So all of this tells me that the day for gold and silver is going to come. It almost has to. It's 1 degree short of inevitable, in my opinion. And when it comes, it could be something to behold.
Before we continue, help us clicking that YouTube like button and subscribe now to our channel. This shows the algorithm that you valued this information. And it helps us spread that message. Sharing is caring. And now, let's continue.
Do you want to know one thing about crypto? I made over 3000% in profit in a few weeks. Fact is, the traditional financial system, the traditional money system makes you poor, not rich. If you want to earn $500,000, $1 million, you have to wait until you're 50, 60, 70 in the traditional financial system, and you probably will still be broke. And you will be old. This is not a sexy combination, as you can imagine. But the question is, how can you start in crypto and make these profits? Where to invest? Where to start? My name is Gunnar and I'm from Germany, as you can hear, and things are a little bit different in Germany. More about that later on. Fact is, there are lots of different cryptocurrencies. It's a gigantic universe where beginners and professionals get easily lost. But there is light at the end of the tunnel. There are 7 key steps you need to follow to become successful in this market. You have to know them, and if you fail one of them, it's literally impossible to succeed in this market. Just an example, one of the key points is your exchange, and one of the biggest are, for example, Binance and Coinbase. These are trusted and well-established exchanges, but, and this is a big but, you won't find the super profitable coins on those exchanges. The unknown super profitable coins that get gigantic profits are not traded on those kind of exchanges. They are traded on much smaller insider platforms that are barely known. And I can tell you what those super secret exchanges are and why they are so profitable. And another super important thing are the right information sources. The point is, the internet is gigantic. There are hundreds and hundreds of YouTube channels, blogs, pages, and much more. And there are also market makers and influencers. For example, Elon Musk, he is not a crypto guy, but the moment he recommended Dogecoin, it went through the roof, to the moon, so to say. But why did he recommend it? Where did he hear it from? He didn't hear it from newspapers. And believe me, he is listening to someone. But you have to know who, and you have to react before he is reacting. This is really, really important. And these are only 2 of the 7 steps you have to follow in order to be successful in crypto. And if you want to know all of these steps in much more detail, and if you want to have a comprehensive checklist, here's what you should do. There is a link below this video. Click on this link and you will get the opportunity to subscribe to my channel. Click on the link and you will see a video where I explain the next steps. So see you soon. Click on the link now. I'll see you there.